Roger Haskett here, President of Engagement Unlimited. I want to talk a little bit about an ongoing case study that we've been involved in since COVID began. And this is a virtual case study. It's with one of our largest clients who is in the pharmacy, is a pharmaceutical and so let me line it up for you. When COVID hit, they realized that their business model would not work if they could not figure out how to convert live meetings into virtual, because they were needing to go into pharmacies, they were needing to go into doctors' offices and have meetings. This is what their business model was based on, meetings to talk to them about why they should, use the pharmaceutical device, et cetera, that this company was promoting, that they were selling. And so they immediately expanded into virtual. And so they're 5 months after COVID hit, they had their first annual national sales meeting in Canada, and they committed totally to virtual. And we all worked at making this the most engaged virtual conference we could make, and to huge success. The comments that we got back were that this was one of the best conferences they've been to, virtual or live. People saying they could not believe how successful it was. They could not believe how much they got out of it. So that happened like 5 months after COVID began. Then we did another national sales meeting. They do 2 a year, so we did one in January. Exact same idea, but things were different. It was a bigger event because what had happened is that the rest of the world watched what Canada had done with awe, how they dove into virtual and a virtual conference and virtual support and also virtual sales. How they had made this not only work for them, but Canada had risen up to become the leading country in the world for this company in terms of sales. And so what happened at this next national sales meeting is we had all these other people from different countries coming to watch what we were doing. And it went massively well, a huge success, and other countries went back to their countries going, we have to copy what Canada was doing. And what Canada was doing was diving in and embracing virtual. And instead of saying, hey, we're gonna do virtual until we can get back to live, and we're just doing a stopgap. We're just going to figure out how to make this work in the meantime. Instead of any of that energy, what they did is they dove into, we are going to become virtual sales experts and virtual conference experts, which they did. We finished our third conference in August. We have our next one coming up in January. Again and again, the organization is looking at Canada and going, what are you guys doing? How is this? How did you embrace virtual so well? How did you do it so effectively? How did you make your learning, your conferences, your sales motivation? How did you make that all work virtually? And what they did is they just committed to virtual. There's now 20 months after COVID has started, there are so many virtual platforms to choose from that create engagement, that create all sorts of engagement. And luckily enough, there are organizations like mine, Engagement Unlimited, where we have the people, the experts who can make engagement resonate even virtually, so that at the end of a 3-day virtual conference, 8 hours a day, we have people staying on after the conference is over in the engagement lounge to continue talking to people about how effective it was and like networking further, creating deeper bonds. This doesn't happen accidentally. It happens because an organization committed to virtual. They could 100% committed to virtual, because if they didn't, their sales were going to plummet. And as a result of committing to virtual and having that spread through the national sales meeting and through the organization and through the country itself, they have become the leading light for this global company. Isn't that interesting? just by committing to virtual. They have a competitive advantage that will be decades, I imagine, in the holding. They have all sorts of support for remote. They have all sorts of support for virtual sales. All of this because they committed to a virtual strategy. We would love to talk to you about how to create the same sort of a result, the same sort of effect for your organization, for your company, how you can become the competitor that everyone else points to and says, how do we do what they did? I'm Roger Haskett, President of Engagement Unlimited. Please give us a call. We'd love to help you create a more engaging world for your organization and your people.